why vermouth in the first place? Is there a reason? Is there because you like vermouth, or is there a deeper driver for you for choosing to be a player in vermouth?
There is a philosophical element of yes, personally liking it, and really it is a product that plays to very much that Kaliro moment that we were just talking about earlier, right? There is also a business context. I think, like when you say when there is a monopoly or a quasi-monopoly, a market cannot function properly. It degenerates. It becomes. It stagnates. It runs out of ideas. So I think it's important to have competition for a market to be healthy. But the most important is that there are three trends which are really we are seeing today, which are driving towards vermouth being a drink for today and for the years to come. The first one is the consumers are looking for experiences with lower alcohol content. There is a few theories about why this is the case. I think it is largely linked to how we are involved in a digital world today. We spend the whole time in front of a screen. When there's a few hours that we leave those screens and we go and talk to friends, we want to be able to spend time with them and value that time and be conscious of that time. You know, so the lower alcohol content allows us to control how that process goes on. The second one is that we have we're still going through a very strong gin and tonic craze. It's probably the drink of the decade, if we want to make a drink. And the particularity of this drink with the gin and the tonic has meant that the consumer palate has become more bitter over the last few years. We have seen this also with the growth of IPA beers, for example. You know, so less sweet, more bitter, and vermouth takes on a lot of those categories with the bittersweet taste, and I believe that is one of the taste profiles that goes with today's consumer. And last, there is an element of cocktail culture. You know, cocktails really grew at the turn of the 19th century, and they have gone through many phases. But in the last 15 years, it has driven through a revival that started in London and New York, and we have seen that become much more democratic. So consumers are enjoying and discovering cocktails, and vermouth plays a huge role in cocktails. You know, cocktails would not have existed without vermouth. They were grown from vermouth, and today, even in the top 10 cocktails in the world, 30% of them have vermouth in them. You know, so in one way or another, most people are drinking vermouth, and they not even know they are drinking it.